Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into the kitchen to explore the world of English food vocabulary. And trust me, it's way more complex and surprising than you might think. So, let's get cooking.
So what's on the menu for today? Well, we're going to start with the sound of food, getting the pronunciation just right. Then we'll take a quick trip around the world. After that, we'll stop for a taste of Britain, untangle some confusing words you might see on a menu, and wrap things up with a fun little bonus round.
Okay, first up, let's talk about pronunciation. Ordering food is just so much better when you can say it with confidence, right? So let's make sure you're nailing some of these key words.
Let's kick things off with a super common one. Now, a lot of people see 4 vowels here and pronounce it with 4 syllables, vegetable. But, in natural everyday speech, you'll almost always hear it with just 3, vegetable. See? It just rolls off the tongue a little easier.
One of the trickiest parts of English pronunciation is mastering silent letters. I like to think of them as invisible ingredients. They're right there in the spelling, but you don't actually hear them. Let's see if you can spot a couple. First up, this delicious fish. Where's the silent letter hiding in the word salmon? Go ahead, take a second and say it out loud. Did you find it?
And the answer is, it's the L. Yep, that's right. We don't say salmon, we say salmon. That L is totally silent. It's a classic trickster in English spelling for sure. Okay, you ready for another one? How about this word, lamb? Where is the invisible ingredient hiding in this one?
It's that B right at the very end. It's completely silent. It's not lamba, it's just lamb. A simple one, but you'd be surprised how often people get tripped up by it.
All right, now let's take a little trip around the globe. Because English is spoken all over the world, different countries can have totally unique words for the exact same foods. It's pretty fascinating.
This chart really shows you what I mean. So in the UK, you'd ask for sweets, but in North America, it's candy, and if you're in Australia, they're called lollies. Or take this vegetable. In the UK, we'd call it a pepper, but in North America, it's a bell pepper, and in Australia, it's a capsicum. And for a frozen treat, a Brit has an ice lolly, but an American has a popsicle, which, here's a fun fact, is actually a brand name that just became the common word for it. Okay, let's fly back to Britain. Now, British food, it sometimes gets a bad rap, doesn't it? But I promise you, there are some truly iconic and absolutely delicious dishes. Let's take a quick look. On our menu today, we've got 3 absolute classics. We're going to start with the world-famous fish and chips, then move on to the traditional Sunday roast, and finish with something a bit more luxurious, beef Wellington. First up, you knew it was coming, fish and chips. This is the quintessential British takeaway meal. It's so simple, but so good. You got a beautiful piece of battered, deep-fried fish, usually cod or haddock, served with a huge portion of hot, thick-cut fries, or as we call them, chips. Next is a tradition that's really close to my heart, the Sunday roast. This is a big, hearty meal that families all over the country eat on a Sunday afternoon. It's usually roasted meat, like beef or chicken, with roasted potatoes, veggies, a Yorkshire pudding, and everything just drenched in rich gravy. It is pure comfort food. And for a really, really special occasion, there's beef Wellington. Wow! This is the ultimate treat. It's a tender beef fillet coated in pâté and mushrooms, all wrapped up in puff pastry and baked until it's perfect. Let's just say if someone makes you this, they really, really like you. Okay, now that we're a little more familiar with some of the dishes, let's untangle a few confusing words you might find on an English menu. Getting these right can make a huge difference, whether you're in the kitchen or just ordering at a restaurant. So let's clear up the difference between bake and roast. They both happen in an oven, right? But the key is transformation. You bake things that start as a liquid or a dough and become solid, like cakes and bread. You roast things that are already solid to begin with, like a piece of meat or some vegetables. Simple as that. Here's another common mix-up, salty versus savory. A lot of people think these 2 words are the opposite of sweet, but the true opposite is savory. Savory is this big, broad category for anything that isn't sweet. Think eggs, bacon, cheese. Salty is way more specific. It's just one taste within that savory category, like potato crisps. Okay, it's time for a quick and fun bonus route. We're going to look at homophones. These are words that sound exactly the same, but have totally different meanings and spellings. This is where English gets a little tricky, but it's also kind of fun.
All right, first pair. Mussels or mussels. They sound identical, but which one are you going to order at a seafood restaurant?
The one you can eat is mussels, the delicious little shellfish.
Muscles, spelled with a C, are the things in your body that help you move. You definitely want to keep those two separate on the menu.
And for our final challenge, leek or leek. Again, they sound exactly the same, but which one would you rather find in your kitchen versus, say, under your sink?
That's right. The food is leek, the long green vegetable that's kind of like an onion. A leek, L-E-A-K, is that annoying hole that water drips through. And hey, here's a little bonus fact for you. The leek is also the national symbol of Wales.
And just like that, our culinary tour of English food vocabulary is over. We've covered a ton of ground, from silent letters to global differences. So my final question for you is this. Now that your vocabulary is a little bigger, what's the most surprising or interesting thing you learned today? Keep exploring, and thanks so much for joining me.